Hey guys, a bunch of my likes just went out, so that's cool. But I want to do a small Saw review, which I was going to do and then found out that the Saw X trailer that I reacted to was a thing. But there's certain movies, and hide all new subscribers, please hit like. The algorithm sucks, and it sucks for small content creators even more because we don't have giant companies backing us and promoting us. But yeah, it's free, and dislike it, like it, whatever. But there's certain movies that you have to respect when you love film and that do things like this, like Rocky, like Saw, Halloween, that are made with barely a budget and they kill it and they end up being phenomenons. And Saw is one of those things. I know it's a lot of money. It was made for 1.2 million, which is like dirt. It's like dirt, you know. It's James Wan, who is an amazing director, you know what I mean? And him and his buddy made it for essentially nothing in 18 days. That is crazy. And I know there's a lot of things we could nitpick about Saw. Like, one part I thought was really funny is that, and I'm going to call him this throughout it, the actor in the bathroom with Adam, the doctor, is from Princess Bride. And so we have Princess Bride, the writer of the film, and some people were complaining about his accent when I was looking up, like, reviews from back in the day, and I was like, no, I was also 12 maybe when this came out and my uncle took me to see it, and you gotta appreciate the way they just made this work. And yeah, there's a couple cheesy things or a couple plot holes, but it's great. But besides the two in the bathroom arguing like a married couple throughout it, which was kind of comical at times, but I think they kind of wanted it to be that way, there's still imagery in this that is iconic, that you don't forget. And I remember this being like the first time, like it was like a real spin on this killer really believes these people deserve it. And there was a few people that I thought he was a little petty about. I was like, did you really need to go for them? The doctors and stuff, and that's why I'm thinking Saw 10 might be not the greatest thing, but I think it'll be good. But I was saying that as I reacted to it on Snapchat, I was like, I can see him snapping on this doctor and everything like that. That makes sense, but some of these other people I do not understand, you know? Like, why did they deserve to go through all this? And the way they set up these trials for them, I'm like, you never expected these people to get out of these. Jigsaw, come on, man, you're really setting them up for failure. Like, it's already hard enough looking for this safety or this safe code with burning fluid on me with a candle, but also you gotta put glass on the ground. Is that necessary? Like, come on, man, you already know I'm not gonna get out of this. But like the reverse bear trap, like all those things are iconic. And even the doll coming in and things like that. But I want to know, how did you get Danny Glover to do this? That's the one thing I was like, oh my god, I told Danny Glover, I totally forgot you were here. But all in all, the first Saw is not bad. And the one thing I do appreciate about it more than the following ones that they milk the shit out of was, and I'm not saying men deserve this, but a lot of times women are put into these positions in horror films of torturing and all this. And in this, there's only one. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was creative kills. It was still gruesome and gross, but it wasn't like, it's a lot, but it's not like gratuitous like the other ones became. And you know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot that I think this has going for it. And I do think the first Saw is pretty good as a movie. And for what they had to work with, damn. And like I said, if you're a film lover, you got to respect something that made a movie for a dirt cheap budget in 18 days with $1.2 million, never made anything before, and it made over $1 billion back when it came out. This was a phenomenon. If you were not old enough when Saw came out, this was huge. Absolutely huge. The pig mask, these basic things that they use, just like crouching in a parking complex, these scary elements of just like real life and this insane way this killer is going about. You feel me? Some of it is totally ridiculous and totally crazy, but like I said, this was the first time we kind of had a killer that was like, I truly believe in what I'm doing and these people deserve it. I don't think that just because somebody is an addict, they deserve it, but, you know, he's crazy, so it is what it is. And like I said, some of it is like way over the top and crazy, and some of the acting isn't the greatest, but rewatching it, I'm like, man, it's not bad. It's really not bad. And for what they had to work with, damn. And I just want to know, did most of the budget go to Danny Glover? I don't know. Or Danny Glover is just the coolest guy ever who's like, yeah, I'll do this. I'll do it. The one scene that does make me laugh and is kind of preposterous is when the one guy's covered in the blanket in the daughter's room. I'll try and find it to put it in here. He's not moving when they cut to him, and then he just starts going like this at her, and I'm like, no, it's horrifying. That's something that would be totally scary. And just like the pig mask, super basic, super scary. And there were still scenes in this that made me jump, even though I hadn't watched it in a long time, but I've seen Saw, you know, and I was just like, eh. But I also think I got used to the other ones where I'm like, it's just going to be this all over again. But I was like, no, it's not just like torturing. It's not just that. Yeah, it's crazy and weird, but I really enjoyed rewatching it. And if you haven't rewatched it, I know this is a short review, but go check it out again before seeing Saw 10, because I did. I was like, man, for what they had to work with. And like I said, we all, in the movie community, or if you're a cinephile, you got to respect the fact, like, these guys had nothing, and now it's like James Wan is on huge productions now and things like that, and it's awesome. But also the writer, and it was just them going like, yeah, we're from Australia, you're picking up our movie, okay, cool. And yeah, just like even looking up the behind the scenes stuff for the first Saw is insane. It's crazy, and you got to respect it, just like Halloween and Rocky and things like that. And to have it to be made for that and then make $1 billion back, and especially in the early 2000s, that was unheard of. That's crazy. So yeah, if you haven't watched Saw in a while, I highly suggest it. You might get a few laughs out of it, but you also will be reminded of it's not bad. And I can see why it was the phenomenon it was. And I remember being like, oh wow, this is like a twist you haven't seen before with a killer and things like that. And I do think that Tobin Bell plays Jigsaw in that voice and that music that kicks in and everything like that. He's so good in this role as Jigsaw. He's iconic with that voice, with everything. But I didn't realize that iconic music was not used in the first Saw until the very end when he gets up off the floor, and it's like, oh damn. And that can come off ridiculous, but throughout this movie, and I noticed that too, is that was all set up. They said that. They were like, he likes to have a front row seat to the things he's doing to these people. He likes to be in the room. He likes to do this. He likes it. So it made sense, but I was like, man, it's a little ridiculous pulling off your prosthetics and stuff, you know what I mean? But then I was like, no, wait, they did. They established it. I don't care if something's ridiculous as long as you set it up well. And yeah, I highly recommend giving Saw a rewatch before Halloween time and going to see Saw 10. And this will probably be the first time I go and see another Saw movie in a theater since the second or third one. Because then it was just like, oh, we got to go see Saw because it's cool. But after that, I was like, I'll watch the other ones if they pop on. But then they got too much for me. I remember an ice block one at one point, some guy standing on an ice block. Whatever. All I know is that check out Saw if you haven't in a while. And I always respect a first-time filmmaker with a low budget. And like I said, 18 days. That's insane to shoot something in. And Danny Gloves is there. But I'm Abby. I'm on OnlyFans. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the stuff down below. Please check it out. Yeah. Saw. And then I have my Saw 10 reaction up, so go check that out. And I know this is short, but I'm like, it's Saw. We all know what it is, but if you haven't watched it in a while, and I mean when you watch something, actually sit down in the dark with your popcorn or your snack, put down your phone and actually pay attention and tell me that there aren't some really good jump scares. Like the scene when they get into Jigsaw's workshop, and we don't know that guy's underneath the sheet yet, and then all of a sudden we see his head moving. And that genuinely made me jump. There's a few things in this that genuinely made me jump or genuinely grossed me out. And then there's a couple things I was like, oh my God, guys. But they had no budget. So it's like, I gotta respect it. So yeah, I'm happy with Motor City Nerds. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, and I just started the Justified series in Detroit, so I'm checking that out. And Mom is super excited for Ahsoka. I don't even think she knows who that character is, but she is geeked for it.